Hello there sexy PlayStation gamers, and welcome back to another Pure PlayStation video review on Pure Play TV. And this time we've got Peaky Blinders Mastermind on PS4. The award-winning TV show Peaky Blinders is absolutely phenomenal. Personally, I would go as far to say that it's a modern masterpiece of recent TV. And as one could imagine then, I was pretty stoked when I discovered a video game adaptation of Peaky Blinders was heading our way. Because who doesn't want to play as part of the Shelby family criminal empire and shout at their screen, "This place is under new management by order of the Peaky Blinders"? Because that's how they sound. Peaky Blinders Mastermind is developed by Future Lab, and as the game's name suggests, it's a strategic puzzle adventure. Let's be real, the majority of us fans would have imagined a Peaky Blinders game going down a different genre path. However, it's not the strangest avenue for the gangster drama. For people unfamiliar with the show, our protagonist, Thomas Shelby, and his main strengths rest in his mad smarts and his wit. He's able to strategize a multifaceted plan to get the upper hand in any situation. Therefore, a game in this direction has potential. On that account, I entered playing Peaky Blinders Mastermind with a completely open mind. The plot is a prequel to the first season of Peaky Blinders. A Peaky Blinder by the name of Scout is accused of having involvement around a suspicious murder, in an elaborate plot to bring down the Shelby clan. It's now down to Tommy and his family members to organise a plan to defend the Peaky Blinders name, and to show the people of Birmingham that they are not to be messed with. The gameplay is the embodiment of tactics, as it utilises a reversing in time mechanic. I know, I don't remember Tommy having time travelling skills either, but presumably the rewind ability embodies the manifestation of Tommy playing out scenarios in his mind. At least I hope that's what it is. It makes sense. Either as Tommy or as another member of the Shelby clan, you'll be able to use the ability to go backwards or forwards in time to help accomplish objectives, such as avoid being spotted, enter a building in a certain time frame, or manipulating your environments to your advantage. However, if you're unsuccessful or you run out of time, the game will pause, and from there you'll have the ability to reverse in time and retrace your steps until you hatch up the ultimate mastermind plan to complete the level. This is unavoidable, as the game is designed for trial and error, and it encourages you to try out different paths for success. In the later levels of the game, additional characters from the TV series will become available to control, such as Arthur, John, Polly and more, and they will help Tommy in his elaborate planning. You'll have to reverse time and simultaneously get several characters to take numerous actions to complete all the objectives presented in the time limit. But even then, it's not easy, because only certain characters will be able to take on certain actions. For instance, Arthur can break down doors, John can commit arson and burn down obstacles blocking the path, and Polly can bribe folks to look the other way for a few minutes. At face value, this sounds like a fun feature to encompass into the puzzle formula, yet these actions are achieved with the single press of a button, and that feels awfully unsatisfying. Seriously, Arthur and John can knock people off, and it's achieved with a single X on the controller. I know an ironic quote from the show is Thomas Shelby shouting, "No fighting," but it comes across that this game took that quote and ran with it a bit too hard. The reversing in time mechanic is displayed at the bottom of the screen as a timeline, where you can see how much time has passed, switch between characters, and see symbols displayed on the timeline that represent each character's actions. The timeline comes in handy as you'll need to reference it often, as knowing what exact time a character will take action helps tremendously. For example, a particular character may not be able to proceed until a door is opened by a lever being pulled. Therefore, you could control one character to pull down the lever, reverse in time where the timeline displays the lever being pulled, switch characters, and walk through the door with that desired character. After each level is completed, it's ranked by either bronze, silver or gold, by how fast you complete the level. Consequently, you'll have to master the reversing time ability if you want to achieve the perfect score. The gameplay might sound a little bit complicated, and it sounds more complicated than it is, but it's not too taxing for the mind, for the most part. It's a fun brain teaser, and it'll make you think for a minute or two before moving on to the next puzzle segment, even if pulling levers down for doors isn't the most exciting gameplay in the world. Visually, the graphics are nothing spectacular, but I did enjoy the subtle nods to some of the iconic locations in the TV show, and they were featured in the game, such as the Shelby Parlour and the Garrison Tavern. The story is told by static images, which is good enough, and that the images themselves, they are dramatic enough to hold the tone for the text dialogue. Yes, text dialogue. There is no voice acting in this game, so don't be expecting to hear Cillian Murphy's sweet Brummy accent. In spite of this, the text dialogue featured in the game suits the characters spot on. I could imagine each character saying their lines, and it really did feel true to the characters. The game is massively enriched by the soundtrack, which is composed and produced by the rock-bound Feverist, who featured in the very first season of Peaky Blinders. And yeah, that's a nice touch. Peaky Blinders Mastermind is a fun brain teaser that will hold your attention for a few hours. But that is pretty much it, a few hours. The puzzles aren't super challenging, nor is the length of the game long enough for it to stretch out the experience long term, even with its best time ranks. The gameplay itself could have been a bit more engaging too, with potentially more button commands to achieve certain actions or desired outcomes. Licensed video games often have a reputation of not being the best, and even though this is by no means a bad game, it didn't feel like it hit the true potential that a Peaky Blinders video game could have achieved. And that brings us to the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully my Brummy accent made you laugh, or giggle, or go, well, I'm not coming to this channel ever again. No, last time. I hope that's not the case. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe down below, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, what would you like to see more of, blah, 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 blah. Until next time, stay bloody sexy. Bye.